Welcome to a short version of the podcast. Joining you today is me, the co-host of this podcast, Noni. Sadly, our host Shoan couldn't be here because he had something very urgent to do. So today it'll just be me just talking for 10 minutes because to have a full podcast we need at least two people. Now this is just gonna be me talking basically about some topics that I've come up with. All right. So now I've wrote a few things here that I think would be interesting to talk about, but not so much alone. But that's fine. So I want to talk about the topic of people exploiting. Maybe not. Man, how do I take this alone? This is gonna be hard. Hmm. Maybe I should just read something. I don't know, man. I've never done this alone. This is something you do with another person, and maybe we can talk about that. What necessarily makes a podcast interesting? It's like something we can find out because some people find podcasts to be boring, people just talking, and I find that true to a certain point, but I feel like it needs to be interesting in some point. The thing is, our podcast is not very advanced because we just started and we can't afford all those fancy equipments you see on like the H3H3 podcast or some of the famous like Markiplier. We're just recording from Discord. And maybe if anybody was wondering how we recorded the podcast, we recorded before it was just him recording using a voice recorder from his phone, and we call from Discord, and then he sent me the audio and I edit a little bit. We now know that podcasts are not supposed to be edited like that heavily, but it was a fun experience to edit. Um, for me personally, I've never done anything like this ever. Like even recording or like editing, I've never done that before. So it was a fun experience to try. So now I want to know what makes a podcast interesting. And just me talking about myself is not interesting, I know. But it's okay for like people to discuss down in comments or tell us somewhere in a post somewhere. I think on behalf of me and him, we would love to know what makes a podcast interesting. Now, some people might like wonder the background music for the last one. That was by an artist I think from Japan named Ryoi Fukui. His albums and his songs are really really nice. So this one is also royalty free. The person is an amazing person, goes by the Fat Rat, and he makes songs that are free for people. People can additionally donate if they want to, and if they don't want to, they don't have to. Which is, I think, is a really nice thing. And he doesn't copyright anybody though. And on the topic of background music, I feel like music in general, it's somewhat hard to put a price tag on because you don't know what's good and what's not good, right? So the background music, I'm just using his music because it's a lot easier to avoid problems. Because we are posting this on different sites. It was Sean's idea to post it on different sites. His first idea was on Spotify, obviously, and after that he wanted to post on Instagram and then YouTube. So for those listening on YouTube, uh, yes, we do think about the copyright issues. And the next time, maybe tomorrow, when Sean can be here, we will talk about the various problems in copyright and like using music in the videos. Also, maybe I should give heads up because maybe that's what I can do. Um, Tomorrow we might be talking about some personal stuff like stress management, finding jobs, people exploiting stuff, and like people making fun of the Wuhan virus because I've seen like some coverage of that, which is just insane to me. And how we manage our schedules, because currently I can safely say we don't have a schedule. I mean, we can have a schedule, but it's a bit rough around the edges because, as proven today, he is not with us to talk with us. So this is gonna be a short one. But we plan to make it every Sunday, but that might change in the future. And we might talk about some other stuff like how we use Discord, in like this new manga story that me and my friend are writing, not with Sean, making montages and like the beauty of nostalgia basically. So if so, be sure to tune in tomorrow. We don't know what time we'll be posting, but I'm pretty sure tomorrow might be a finicky one too because Sean said that he had to leave on urgent news, like urgent to the point where you can't even describe urgent. So I'm pretty sure it's something serious. I don't wanna like stress him out. So we should leave him be for a while. For now, I'm just going to sit here, do some more research on this manga thing because I didn't know, but creating a manga is very hard. My friend who is helping on the manga, she's a wonderful person. She she's still in school, which is a problem because for her, she's in the top school in our district, and for her to spend her time drawing and like directing what the manga is supposed to be is very time consuming. And for me, a one man just doing the storyboards, I found out it was wrong to just do it on your own. You're supposed to have the partner, and we're only two people doing the manga thing, which I find is very hard because at least you need like I don't know, at least you need two people, but we're not experienced. We're just newbies, and we're going to enter this competition, which is very high standards. And I feel like drawing and like one person drawing the whole thing without any direction, the other person doing the storyboard without the other person's consent is wrong. So I think we're going to maybe tomorrow we'll have her on here too to do the special guest podcast because when I sent this out to my friends, they're all somewhat excited to be on the special guest seat. It is not that special, it's just us talking. As we stressed out in the first episode, we're just two people talking. As the name implies, we're two drunk guys walking into a bar. It'd be funny if it was in the future, if we actually own a bar, and then we do the podcast there. That could be a job offer that I take because it's an interesting name. Two drunk guys walk into a bar. He knows that I am a person with a sugar problem. I drink a lot of soda. Very unhealthily. There's no healthy way to say it. And I don't know about him, but he seems fine. But he seems to chug a lot. So I think with that kind of teaser in mind, this is just a short one. I'm looking at the recording time here. This is the first time I'm recording. Oh yeah, last the last one he was recording. This time I'm recording, but I'm recording using OBS, which I'm still very new to this. This is very hard to understand. So if anybody is an expert on using OBS, please let me know in the comments, or don't. It's okay. And with that, I'm gonna close off here. Thank you for listening to this little trailer that we have. I'm very sorry that Sean cannot be here, but at least as a message to anybody out there, don't stress your friend over a project. Like, stress them if it was a deadline, but if it was something small like this, it's not worth it. It can ruin your friendship. It can ruin your mental, even with theirs, and just general attitude. So stay positive out there. We'll be back tomorrow with a real episode. All right. Bye bye.